Hey, Rise of Kingdoms friends! Today I will speak about a devastating commander which can be an extremely good resource in your arsenal. I am of course speaking about Trajan, which Italian people like me should know very well. Let's get straight into it. Before, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you find my content useful. Let's go! Hello everyone and welcome to Wick Gaming. Some historical background about Trajan. Trajan was one of the greatest emperors that Rome has ever seen. His complete name was Marco Ulpio Nerva Traiano, and as recognition to his accomplishments, especially for being good to the people of Rome and being an exceptional ruler, he was given the title of Optimus Princeps, which means the best among the emperors. To celebrate the conquering of the Dacia territories, nowadays Romania, he built a very famous monument, the Trajan's Column, next to the Basilica Ulpia, which probably you have seen at least in photos or surely in person if you have ever been to Rome. Nothing, I just wanted to start with a little bit of history regarding this commander since I am Italian. He is a leadership, versatility and support commander, and on a first look you may not like the combination of talents that this commander has, but a good talent tree, which you can always find on my Discord, link in the description down below, and good pairings can make this commander a true monster on the battlefield. He has a big function in rally as well, when you need to use mixed troops or you have a certain situation where your players are a bit unresponsive and distracted and join with the wrong troop type. Well, in that case, Trajan is your guy. Let's begin from the skills as usual. A very short overview. First skill, some damage dealt to the current target and a big skill damage buff up to 25% for 3 seconds and 40 rage restored per second for 3 seconds. There is a small downside where you will take 20% increased damage for 3 seconds. One important specification. Some of you have asked how many marches is the buff affecting. Well, a general rule is that when it's not specified, the skill is affecting the maximum number of targets, which is 5 both in the case of the AoE damage and in the case of the AoE buff, which we are speaking about right here. Second skill, defense and health bonus up to 20%, extremely solid. Third skill, increased troop capacity, a little bit of extra direct damage and increased damage dealt to the target in case you are using 3 or more unit type, which I normally suggest to do, and we will speak about this later. Fourth skill, conditional on being on the map, stack of defense when normal attacking, 6% each stack up to 10 times, so 60% in total. The stacks can be applied at most once every 8 seconds, so the only way to return back to 0 stack is to have a discontinued fight, or having the normal attacks disabled at the right time, thanks for example to the effect of the active skill of LC right here. In my experience, it's very difficult to prevent Trajan stacking up a ton of defense over time if he stays in battle and you lead your army properly. The expertise skill is just an enhancement of the primary skill, with some more damage, more increased skill damage and 50 rage per second restored instead of 40, without the personal debuff becoming worse, so only upsides here with the expertise skill. A week ago I made a rally rating video, you really need to check it out, card up on the top. We discussed about basically every relevant rally option in May 2021. In that video I spoke about Trajan being a great option as secondary to Guan Yu in a rally, as you can see from this report, because even if you throw mixed troops with siege units inside the rally, which we did here by the way, Trajan is going to do a great job in stacking up that defense and still deal a ton of damage thanks to Guan. Other viable options with Trajan in a rally situation are with him being primary with either Harald, Nebuchadnezzar, YSS or even Adelflaed as secondary commanders. In case of Harald, you might want to have more infantry units in the rally, with Nebuchadnezzar more archers, and with YSS and Adelflaed honestly it doesn't matter, you can throw literally everything in there. Considering that the garrison metagame is still the strongest play in Rise of Kingdoms as of now thanks to Zenobia, trying to vary your rally game is very important. Maybe you want to have some of your other troops dying in battle, siege included, while saving the troop type that really matters to you for the crucial battles. On the open field, it's an entire other story. Trajan is very good there. Top pairings include Adelflaed or Harald as secondary commanders, with mixed troops, of course. Thanks to the talents and the leadership skill, with a 50% expansion, you will have 338,000 troops to be deployed. My suggestion is to have 90% infantry and the other 10% split between cavalry and archers. But another good option is to have 95% tier 5 cavalry and the other 5% 50% split between tier 4 archers and infantry. Why tier 4? Because in this way the slowest unit in your march will be the tier 5 cavalry, so your march will be substantially faster when needed and you will still have the 3 unit type bonus thanks to Trajan's effect. That's just a suggestion, of course. Feel free to distribute the troop numbers basing on what you actually have in your city and according to the other field marches that you will be deploying. Another great open field pairing for Trajan is him as secondary to Harold and full infantry. In this case, you will not get the extras from Trajan's third skill, but you will be enjoying the infantry tree plus a great deal of march speed coming with it. On this channel, I have already tested Harold and Trajan against Trajan and Harold, and I do have to say that unless you are very lucky in the beginning with many skills fired off by Harold, Trajan primary always wins. But as I said, march speed is in some cases much more important. So try to think about what you really need. For example, if you have France as civilization, you might want to have Harold as primary and enjoy the extra march speed. But if you have Rome or Ottomans, civilization which both have 5% extra march speed for your troops, you might want to go with Trajan primary. Another important aspect to emphasize about Trajan is his active skill buff, in particular the rage regeneration part. He will give you 50 rage per second for 3 seconds when you use your active skill, but remember that this bonus will not be compatible with others of the same type, and with type, I mean active skill buffs. For example, Joan of Arc's first skill, Saint, is not compatible with Trajan's first skill. It means that you will not get both of them, but only Joan of Arc's rage restoration in case Trajan is not expertise, for the simple fact that 50 rage is more than 40 rage per second, and the stronger buff by Joan of Arc will automatically override the weaker buff by Trajan. In case Trajan is expertise, you will benefit from the buff that comes first. Of course, you will not suffer this problem if the rage restoration skills are from different kinds, like active and passive. For example, Trajan's rage restoration active will stack up with William's rage restoration passive. I will give you now a talent option for Trajan, which you can also find on my Discord. Make sure to join up and check it out. The last aspect we need to speak about is the equipment. Leadership equipment needs to be simply the equipment of the unit type that you are using the most, so in the biggest amount in your march, but with leadership special talent where possible. Are you using infantry? Then simply go for infantry equipment. All the guides about the specific equipments are on my channel, by the way, and try to get a leadership special talent on the pieces. Are you using Trajan and Nebuchadnezzar and mostly archers? Try to craft a revival set with leadership special talent. I think you got the point. I hope this video was helpful. If yes, please don't forget that you can support the channel for free just by leaving a like and subscribing. You can always change your mind later. As always, I will see you on the next one. Ciao!